2020 has been a year of great uncertainty. An election year, riots, and a global pandemic has caused all sorts of division. Adding to that division, sports, a place where we can all, agree to disagree, completely vanished in the United States for 3 months with nothing feeling remotely normal. Then the NBA came up with a bubble concept to protect its players and personnel, and we finally started seeing scrimmages on July 22nd. The NFL without a bubble didn't seem as a possibility, but on this past Thursday, we can all excel. And I'm finally happy to say, are you ready for some football? Welcome to Real One Productions, where you will receive honesty, decency, and loyalty from the top tier analysts all across the country. Categories spanning from entertainment to fashion. Here at R1P, expect the unexpected. Are you ready for some football? Texans, Chiefs, Thursday night football. The Chiefs did take that one 34-20. Super Moon vibes. What was your perspective on that game?
So we have the reigning Super Bowl champions, the Kansas City Chiefs, facing off against the team that they eliminated from playoff contention in gut-wrenching fashion last year, the Houston Texans. Now, what happened? Houston Texans jumped out to an early lead at the hands of David Johnson, who looked very fluid. And after the trade, they landed him in Houston, where they sent DeAndre Hopkins to the Arizona Cardinals. Now, Kansas City quickly stomped back with the hands of Travis Kelce catching a red zone touchdown that tied the game back up. A quick change of possession led to Kansas City's next scoring drive, where they put together a 16-play drive, the longest of Patrick Mahomes' career, his young career, that is. A one-yard touchdown by Sammy Watkins would give KC a 14-7 lead. Late in the second quarter, Houston had a chance to bring the game within 4 points with a field goal, but that kick was missed by Tommy Fairburn, and he missed it wide right. With less than 30 seconds left remaining in the half, Kansas City marched down the field in one play and added to their lead with a kick by Harrison Butker to make the lead 17-7 at half. The Chiefs will get the ball back at half, have another drive marked by a high time of possession in the running game and efficiency by Clyde Edwards-Helaire that took the lead to 24-7. A quick change of possessions by both teams in the third quarter would see the Texans get the ball back on what looked like their final opportunity to get closer into the game and close the gap. However, early in the fourth, on a blown blocking assignment by the tight end, Kansas City will get QB pressure on Deshaun Watson by Tyrann Mathieu, who will force a duck pass to be thrown into the Kansas City nighttime fog and be intercepted by the rookie CB Snead, who played big all night long after he's been challenged early and often by Deshaun Watson. Now, Houston looked like they would respond with the interception of their own. However, there was a defensive pass interference in the end zone that would give Kansas City an even greater opportunity. Right after that, they had a big play to Tyreek Hill in the back of the end zone, and the cornerback didn't have a chance. Too much speed. That would push the lead to 31-7. Now, Houston will march down the field at the hands of David Johnson and Will Fuller IV, capping off the drive with the dot thrown by we got Deshaun Watson to tight end Akers, and a 2-point conversion was missed and it was unsuccessful. Now, its score is now 31-13. Now, Houston will force a quick 3-and-out and retain the ball marching down the field, and it capped off with the fluid read option from Deshaun Watson that would take the lead from 31-20. They were attempting an onside kick, however, that was unsuccessful, and the game ended with Harrison Butker tacking on an additional field goal before time expires. Kansas City wins 34-20. Now, this is 98 days since the top players, predominantly black league, voiced their concerns to the NFL about the racial injustices occurring in our nation and desiring action from the NFL and its owners, specifically the commissioner. This game happened in Kansas City, Missouri, with about 16,000 fans at a capacity of about 22% because of COVID-19 measures limiting attendance. Why is this so important, Moon Vibes? Well, Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson, two black quarterbacks, kicked off the NFL season as the face of their franchise after just getting paid in the offseason handsomely. And they're bringing in this next era of 100 years of NFL football. This was our first chance to see how the NFL would react to the efforts to increase awareness to racial injustice in our country. It kickstarted a series of outward gestures and expressions of solidarity throughout the league on these issues. Now, it's also important before the game, the Houston Texans and the Kansas City Chiefs joined in unison to link arms in a show of unity against racism that saw players span from end zone to end zone. This act of unity was addressed by the public announcer as a stand of unity, and even still was met by some boos that were more than noticeable from the crowd in KC. Now, it's important because the flag was not involved. The national anthem and Lift Every Voice and Sing were already sung, and it showcased that although some fans showcased their support, there's still some people out there that intentionally booed against ending racism. Will we see more of that this weekend with these games that we have slated? Only time will tell.
Excellent insight from Moon Vibes. Moon Vibes, I do have a couple of questions for you. The Texans, where do they go from here? Their schedule does not get any easier. They have the Ravens coming up. They have the Steelers after that, and then they have the Vikings after that. Well-coached teams. The schedule makers were not very kind to Houston. So how does Houston get to 1-1 next week?
They play the Ravens next. It's gonna be tough, especially if Lamar Jackson comes out this weekend and puts it to the Browns. They're just gonna have added momentum. I think, thinking positively, they were at their best in the game last night, I should say, when they were relying on David Johnson, whether that was through screen passes, whether that was getting the ball, handing it off to them. They have to be able to control the clock because they don't have the offensive firepower to be able to play from behind. So I think that with Deshaun Watson, we know how great he is, but he's not going to win you a game, especially in a shootout against Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes in back-to-back weeks where he has to put up throw 40 passes and everything like that. We have to rely on David Johnson, and I think that they need to do more of that. The bright spot, though, Will Fuller had like 8 catches. Could have had like 9, 10. That's bright, but after that, it was dropping off a cliff with the receptions. We need to see more from Kenny Stills. We need to see more from Brandon Cooks. We need to see more from Bill O'Brien in this offense. But I'm nervous for them, bro. And the reason why is because just in that first 4 games, they are in serious danger starting out 0-4.
Absolutely. With that being said, Bill O'Brien, he pulled the trigger. He made the trade that everybody talked about. Even in the loss, the trade doesn't look as bad as it first appeared because we did see a spark from David Johnson. If this thing doesn't work out, they start 0-4. They miss the playoffs this year. He's not only is he the coach, he's also the general manager. What happens with him?
Is he gonna fire himself? Is he just gonna step down? I don't know. That's tough. And that's the situations with you being and having that power. He's judge, jury, executioner at this point. And that's the thing. As long as he's in charge, it's gonna be hard for Houston to have any type of identity, not just with their football team, but their culture as a whole.
Absolutely.
You got Man of the Year, NFL Man of the Year, J.J. Watt on your team. You just hope, want better for him as a player. But what do they do with Bill O'Brien? That's tough. I would say in that situation, Bill O'Brien's hands will be tied, and he's not making any moves. But yeah, man, it's just not looking good for the Houston Texans right now. But on the flip side of things, for the Chiefs, they look unstoppable.
Wow.
They look unstoppable. They looked in mid-season form. I'm tempted to say playoff form, but the only thing that I was thinking watching that game was, man, all they really needed was a running game, and now that they have that, you see the stats right there for Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He looked like that was just and Patrick Mahomes was the one that was vouching for him, yo, draft him, draft the kid out of LSU. He showed up. Could he win Rookie of the Year? Possibly. But this offense is super creative. I really love how they changed things up as we got, deeper into the game. They started trying new formations, especially after they got stopped in that first series. It seemed like that's when they turned on the Jets. And after that, it was done for. I think the turning point in the game was when Houston missed that field goal.
Absolutely.
Right before the half. When they missed that field goal right before they have to change momentum, they got to have a chance to go march down the field. get 3 more before half, and then add another score right after half, it was game over. But yeah, I'm more excited about the Chiefs this year than I am about the Texans, and I think that the Texans have to have a wake up call. They gotta do something because they're in danger of finishing last in their division. And I know, yeah, Moon Vibes, the Jaguars, they have danger of finishing last. It's best believe Gardner Minshew gonna give you some stats. Promise you.
I've always had a belief going back to O'Brien that coaches coach, managers manage, owners own. Should be 3 separate entities. Chiefs, they go in LA against the Chargers next week. Can I get early predictions? Do the Chiefs start off 2-0?
If the Chargers do not get healthy with their offensive line, I'm very, very worried for them. Just because there was a stat that came out in the game last night that said that Steve Spagnuolo, defensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs, does not run a single formation more than 20% of the time. So they switch up their defenses so incredibly much. And that's troublesome when it comes to the Chargers. We'll see how they look against the Bengals this weekend. But my early prediction, yeah, they start off 2-0, and they start off 2-0 easily.
And then week 3, showdown against Baltimore. So definitely be excited to see that at Moon Vibes. As always, great perspective.
What's up, people of Earth? It's Moon Vibes, and I'm here to give you my bold predictions for the NFL 2020 season. Number 1, Redskins defensive end Chase Young breaks the rookie NFL sack record of 14.5, and he gets you 16 this year. Number 2, the Cincinnati Bengals will win more games than the New England Patriots. You heard that correctly, than the New England Patriots. And my last one, and I'm a homer, but my Atlanta Falcons will win the NFC South and not the New Orleans Saints, and definitely not the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You heard it first from Moon Vibes from Real One Productions. Yo, it's Moon Vibes and Lever KT from Real One Productions, and we're here to talk about the Seahawks and the Falcons game at 1:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday afternoon. KT, I guess I started off with the injury report. Let's talk about your Seahawks first. Cedric Ogbuehi, he had a pectoral and he's out. Tackle for the Seahawks, and also questionable. Philip Dorsett was listed on the injury report with a foot injury. He's questionable for the game. Full participations in practice included Geno Smith, who was dealing with the back. A limited participation in practice was Dwayne Brown, tackle with the knee. Tight end Will Dissly with an Achilles, coming back from last year. And Jamarco Jones, tackle with the undiagnosed illness. And those were the injury for the Seahawks. Now, for my Falcons, players that are out, cornerback Kendall Sheffield, he's dealing with the foot, he's not playing. And D-end Charles Harris, he's dealing with the ankle, he's out for this game. Also questionable, D-tackle Marlon Davidson, our rookie, he's dealing with a knee injury, and they've been bringing him back along slowly. Not trying to make any complications with that. Also, James Carpenter, guard, he was resting. Todd Gurley was resting as well on Friday, did not participate in practice. Limited participation in practice included rookie cornerback AJ Terrell. He's dealing with the hamstring.
Wow.
Julio's dealing with the hamstring. Olamide Zaccheaus is also dealing with the hamstring. And Marlon Davidson, like I said before, he's dealing with the knee. And other notable injuries that have full participation in practice on Friday were Dante Fowler, our new signee in the offseason. Defensive end, he had an ankle. He had full participation. Center Matt Hennessy had a knee. And wide receiver Russell Gage had a groin injury that he participated in full. So I'll pass it off to KT. Talk about the Seahawks side of the ball.
Wow, those were a lot of injuries. I think that the front office for Seattle had one thing in mind this offseason. It was defense. They made the big trade for Jamal Adams, giving up 2 number 1s and a 4th to get him, and that instantly makes their defense better. I think at this stage he's even better than Earl Thomas is. He can play close up. He can play the deep half. So their defense definitely upgraded. And even with the draft, they also made improvements to their roster, taking the outside outside linebacker from Texas Tech, Jordy Brooks, as well as taking Taylor outside of Tennessee. No player means more to their team than Russell Wilson, and I think that's kind of been the Seahawks' Achilles heel, that they're too reliant upon him to make plays. I would like to say I think Seattle won this game, but with them having to travel to play a 10 a.m. game in their time, I don't see them winning it, but I do see it being a close game. I got the Falcons winning 35-31. What's your take on this game?
I got some questions for you, actually, for the Seahawks side of the ball. Number one, you mentioned Russell Wilson. Is this the year that they let Russell Wilson cook? Because peep this stat. Russell Wilson has 227 touchdown passes and is already the most for a quarterback in the first 9 seasons of his career. Mm-hmm. He's only behind Peyton Manning, 275. Dan Marino, your guy, 266. And Matt Ryan with 240 and Brett Favre with 235. Do you think if this is the year that they actually let Russ cook?
He has the weapons to cook. They were able to pick up Greg Olsen in the offseason as well. DK Metcalf should be making some progress this season. And Tyler Lockett does everything for them. And with a solid running game with Carlos Hyde being added to their backfield, I think he will be able to definitely produce. I think that's never the question. As stated earlier, he's the most important player on his team. As far as the outlook, he's in a tough conference. I think this year the team to watch in that division bar injury is the Cardinals, man, because they've made vast improvements and they showed flashes last year. I do think they make the playoffs. Will they win the division? I think injuries will definitely dictate that. So how do you feel about your Falcons?
Man, my Falcons. So with the Falcons, it's so many new additions, but also so many key losses that we lost last year. We let go of Devontae Freeman. We let go of Vic Beasley. We let go of Desmond Trufant. That's just only some. But we picked up Dante Fowler Jr. Todd Gurley came over. AJ Terrell drafted him first rounder. A lot of people will sleep on that because of they only watched one game of his in the national championship game. But he's a very, very solid player. And hot take, he's better than Jeffrey Okudah that the Lions picked up. And yeah, I know. I said a mouthful. But yeah, he's better. And so peep this. Matt Ryan is 10-1 in home openers in his career. Let that sink in for a second. Now, this is the real first football action that we get in, and I think that has the potential to be the best game of the week. Or it could be it can be like a proven game for both sides, Seattle and Atlanta. For Atlanta, I'm more worried about who starts at left guard. According to new reports, rookie Matt Hennessy and veteran James Carpenter, that's who we're either dealing with. James Carpenter was limited with rest, so he didn't practice. But Hennessy seemed to be more impressive option during training camp before suffering an injury that caused him to miss some time over the past 2 weeks. But he was back at practice this week, and he appears ready to play. This is important because the Falcons gave up over 50-plus sacks last year, and Matt Ryan got beat up a lot because of the offensive line wasn't producing as much as they possibly can. Now, with running back Todd Gurley and his new addition, I'm super excited to see him coming back over. And I really do feel that the Seahawks were among the NFL's worst defenses against the run last year, allowing 4.9 yards per carry, tied 28th, and 22 rushing touchdowns, and that was tied 30th in 2019. But then again, Atlanta's rushing attack was equally poor in 2019. We dealt with a lot of injuries. Devontae got hurt. Smith got hurt. And we had to rely at some point on Brian Hill, who's the backup behind Todd Gurley. But I think a healthy offensive line with first rounders all throughout it is the formula to get Todd Gurley going. Other notable things that I'm excited to look for is the cornerback situation. AJ Terrell, we got Darqueze Dennard, the veteran, coming in to play the slot. We got Isaiah Oliver, who really stood out to me a lot last year as a Falcons fan because he proved it, being thrown into the fire. Now, they're going to have to go up against some speed and some size. DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, it's a lot to handle. However, if anybody I can say can handle it, I would say it's AJ Terrell and Isaiah Oliver. AJ Terrell has been going up against Julio Jones all training camp. if anything can get you prepared for this season, I think that does. So I'm interested to see that. Also, we picked up tight end Hayden Hurst, who's really a do-it-all tight end in the offseason as well. And I really think that he has a huge impact since Baltimore let him go. We got him. And I think that he gives us more production than Austin Hooper actually did last year.
Wow.
In fact, I think that he will be more productive in this system than Austin Hooper was during any season that Austin Hooper was here coming since he was drafted out of Stanford. It's that much of a difference. And plus, we need somebody that can match up against Jamal Adams, and I think that Hayden Hurst is that guy. And my last thing I'm more interested about, and what we've been talking about for the Falcons for the last couple of years, really for a long time, their pass rush. We added Dante Fowler on one side. Tack McKinley is on the other side, and he's in a prove-it year. They didn't pick up his fifth-year option, so he's basically like, yo, if you get us X amount of sacks, hey, we'll re-sign you. If not, then hey, we got to let you go. Kind of like what they did with Vic Beasley. And we also got one of the best D tackles in the league behind Aaron Donald, Grady Jarrett. I see this playing out, and this is going to be a bold statement. I say Falcons win 26-6, and their defense makes a huge statement on opening weekend, straight like that.
26-6. So you being in the heart of Atlanta, Todd Gurley coming back to that part of the United States. What's been the feeling like? How do you guys feel about Todd Gurley being back?
It's so much excitement, bro. So much excitement. There's a new type of juice. Watching interviews and things with Matt Ryan and the Falcons offense and just the team as a whole. Matt Ryan said that he just gives us the juice that we need and gives us the energy that we need. And you wouldn't think it like that because of Todd Gurley. He doesn't seem like a guy that's like talking and yapping a lot. But, you know, watching him in Wired and practice, he looks like he is just fully healthy.
Wow.
So if anybody slept on him, hey, you're gonna be eating that all year. And I just think from an energy standpoint, in a season where we are going to be playing a lot of games until we know more and more, without fans, these teams are going to have to bring their own juice. And I think Todd Gurley is that juice man that our offense so desperately needed. And I think that he has a huge season. So we're definitely excited here in Atlanta for Todd Gurley. And him being a Georgia boy just adds on into it even more, KC.
Mm-hmm. So can you all, because right now only people I feel like that are being talked about in the NFC South are the Bucs and the Saints. Can the Falcons push either of those teams for the division?
Absolutely, yes. And our last year we dealt with it with health. We got out to a horrible start. I don't even want to talk about that. It was so bad. But I love the way they finished the year. We actually beat New Orleans, shut them down completely, for real. And this year, it just feels different. It really does. With all the hype going to Tom Brady and Drew Brees and older quarterbacks, I think we're flying under the radar. And we're flying, and we're not worried. And I think that helps us in this case. So just be aware. We might get to week 8 in the season, and a lot of people want to try to jump on the bandwagon, but I love where we're at right now. And I won't even exclude Carolina because I feel like people are undervaluing Carolina too. I'm not really so sure about their defense since they lost a lot of pieces, but if anything, I think that we definitely can compete with the Bucs. And hot take, we sweep the Saints and we split with the Bucs.
Wow. You heard it first here at R1P from Moon Vibes. I think that the 3 wildcard slots, those teams either come from the NFC West or the NFC South. I don't see the East or the North getting a wildcard pick in. So that is the Falcons and the Saints here at R1P. We're going to take it to the next segment, the Steelers and the Giants with your boy Moon Vibes and Brad.
Yo, what's good, guys? It's LL Cool Brad from Real Ones Productions, and these are my 3 predictions for the 2020 NFL season. So my first prediction for the 2020 NFL season is that Michael Pittman Jr. will lead the league in receiving yards in the rookie category, and I feel like James Conner is going to lead the Steelers in rushing yards this season, and I feel like Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going to lead the rookie category in rushing yards this season. Those are my 3 NFL predictions for the 2020 NFL season, and I'm out.
Steelers Giants, a game that takes place on Monday Night Football. It's the first game of a doubleheader. We also have the Titans and the Broncos that night as well. This game has big headlines. These teams haven't faced in 4 years. The last time that they did play was in 2016, and the Steelers took that game 24-14. On the call for this game, we have LL Cool Brad and Super Moon Vibes here at R1P. Guys, what are your breakdown of this game?
So the injury report for the Pittsburgh Steelers is as follows. They have week 1, Friday practice, September 11th. Guard David DeCastro has a knee issue, and he did not practice. Wide receiver Deontay Johnson has a foot, and he practiced in full. Now, the Giants is for September 11th, Friday, their practice. Marcus Golden, linebacker, had an illness. He practiced in full. Adrian Colbert, DB, had an illness. He practiced in full. Linebacker Tay Crowder, hamstring. He was limited. Wide receiver Golden Tate had a hamstring. He was limited as well. Levine Talolo had a hamstring, and he was limited in practice as well. And that is the injury report for both squads. Now, the most notable news is guard David DeCastro for the Pittsburgh Steelers. If he does not play, they will be starting 3 new offensive linemen going into this game, so it's worth mentioning. And we go to Brad with predictions for the Steelers.
My predictions for the Steelers, my 3 negatives for them this game is I feel like they're going to have a hard time stopping Saquon Barkley in the backfield for the Giants because he's just a really productive back. And I feel that they're going to have, that's one of the only ones that I have for them. And then for the positives, I feel like they have a really great wide receiver core. They just picked up Chase Claypool and tight end Eric Ebron. And I feel like they have a great run game in the back with James Conner. He's been getting healthier and putting in a lot of work this offseason. I just feel like they are the better team this game.
Yeah, we both agree with the fact that they're a better team. My keys for a Giants win, actually, is they need to, 1, be the more physical team. And we know the Steelers are, known for ages now to be extremely physical. They need to out-physical the Pittsburgh Steelers. They also need to protect the ball, lean on Saquon to chew some clock, win the time of possession as well. And the last thing is definitely adjust. They need to adjust on the fly, be able to try different formations. This is the debut of Jason Garrett as the offensive coordinator, so we'll be able to see what he is and what he can bring to the table for the Giants. And for a Steelers win, I think they just have to rely on their speed, and more speed, especially on their defense. I'm interested in seeing how they limit Saquon Barkley. But the thing that I'm most excited about, and I know Brad is too, is the return of dominance for the injured players. James Conner coming back, Juju coming back, and, of course, Big Ben coming back for the Steelers.
I have no doubt in my mind that Big Ben's going to be healthier than he ever was. Yeah, man, I feel like my prediction for this game, I feel like they're winning by at least 15 points. So, yeah, man. Feel like the Steelers can walk in with the W in that one.
You got a score?
I would say 45-30.
45-30 is his score. My score is 41-17. Steelers win in New York. And then we also, this game is the debut of the $5 billion SoFi Stadium that looks quite pretty and majestic from the aerial views and shots that we get. But this game is in danger of being postponed. Tell us why, Jalen.
Hours ago, the NFL released a statement that said the Rams versus the Cowboys game could be postponed due to the California wildfires. And that will suck, first of all, for football fans. Mm-hmm. To me, I'm a player safety first guy, so I'll always would care about the player safety and everything else. But I think that if it will be moved, I think it may be moved to like an earlier time, even though I don't really know we don't really know what to expect with all the wildfires and everything that's going on in California, because it has been a lot.
Exactly. And prayers out to everybody that's dealing and experiencing that. Over 500,000 people displaced in Oregon just alone. That's not even in California. So yeah, definitely prayers out to them. What's your gut feeling? Do we get the game or not?
I think we get the game.
Okay.
And the final score, I have the Cowboys winning 35-28.
You see them putting up 35 points on opening day?
Yes, I see the Cowboys having a field day with that secondary that the Rams have, because, of course, the Cowboys are loaded at receiver with CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, and Michael Gallup. So, yes, I see them having a field day.
Wow. So more info on this game. It happens Sunday, September 13th, opening weekend. Starts at 7:20 Central Time. It's going to be in Los Angeles at SoFi Stadium. It's going to be broadcasted on NBC, so definitely check that out. The point spread has right now, Dallas is favored by 3. It's kind of a pick 'em. Now, that kind of, is interesting. If I had to do anything, I would bet on the Rams in this game. And that's actually who I'm going to go with. I'll give you my score in a second, but the over-under for this game is 51.5. What's your gut telling you about that over-under? You taking the over or the under of 51.5?
Over.
Over? Okay. So you see closer like 55 points, maybe even 60?
Yeah, I was going to go for like 60.
Okay. So I think there's going to be a close game on both sides because both offenses, at least on paper, look like they'll be prolific. I think that the Cowboys, from just paper alone, seem like they have the better offense. It worries me just because we have a situation where at any given play they can score. That's what it looks like. With the addition for the Cowboys of CeeDee Lamb, we have Michael Gallup coming on strong. Amari Cooper, they really have number one wide receivers on the outside. And that's not even mentioning number 21, that Batman, Zeke Elliott, who I think is going to lead the league in rushing this year, coming strong. And then Dak is on the prove it deal. It's a lot of pressure. And it's not even a lot of pressure on Dak specifically. I think it's a lot of pressure on Mike McCarthy, the new coach that they really recently hired in the offseason. What's your gut feeling on Mike McCarthy? I feel personally that he bitten off more than he can chew. With the expectations for the Cowboys being so incredibly high year in and year out, I feel like they always fold to it. What's your gut feeling? Is this the year that the Cowboys get over that hump?
I want to say that they do, just because I want Dak Prescott to get paid, but no, they never. They never do. So, why would I expect them to do it this time?
Right. They look like an extremely talented team on paper, and it this year more than others, especially with the addition in their draft. But it worries me that they still haven't paid Dak yet. Dak's trying to get Deshaun Watson money, and Dak is trying to even make a case to get Patrick Mahomes money. But Zeke Elliott, he says in a recent statement that he just wants to win above all else. They're really going to be doing more work with I don't know if it's split carries, but a dual backfield between him and Tony Pollard as well. Amari, Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb. It worries me that Amari stay healthy. I want him to stay healthy. But their offense just looks explosive. Where I'm concerned about the Cowboys is their defense, and specifically their secondary. They're going into this game, like we mentioned before, signing Brandon Carr to the practice squad for this game. So they're going to be extremely thin going into this game. I think what you said for the Cowboys exploiting the Rams secondary, I see that happening for the Rams exploiting the Cowboys secondary, and that's why it's going to be such a high scoring game. But my prediction for it is this: I got the Rams 30, Cowboys 27, and they win by a walk-off field goal, and Jared Goff plays out of his mind in what seems to be a mystery. No preseason kind of makes me nervous. We don't know what we're going to get from both teams, any team really, with no preseason action. So the Rams are kind of like a mystery. And I think that they win this game. So I guess we both are flipped. You going with the Cowboys, I'm going with the Rams. Yeah. But with this segment and with this being the Sunday night game, do you think it's worthy of that Sunday night game slot?
Since it's the Cowboys, yes, I would. Well, I don't know if it's worthy, but I think I'm gonna say no, it's not worthy. But they, of course, it's the Cowboys, so the NFL loves them, of course, because they probably have the biggest fan base, one of the biggest fan bases in the NFL. So I think that's the reason why they got the time slot, and because it's in LA. So,
of course, I'm excited to see that SoFi Stadium. It's going to be definitely pretty. And we both give you predictions, and the money line actually for it has Dallas at favored by 152 points. So, and the over-under again is at 51.5 for the game. Dallas favored by 3 points. It's a pick'em. So with pick'ems, I always got to go with the home team. And Los Angeles just happens to be at home. Opening up their new stadium, I just don't see them losing. You got any final words for us, bro?
No. Hopefully everybody in California that's watching this can stay safe, stay healthy. Everybody watching this can stay quarantine clean, as Moon would say.
Stay quarantine clean, for sure. And from myself, Moon Vibes, and Jalen Wilson at Real 1's Productions, this is our takes on the Cowboys vs. Rams Sunday Night Football game on NBC that's happening. And we're out. On to the next segment.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Lever KT of Real 1 Productions. Here are my bold predictions. First one, Josh Allen will win league MVP this year. The Buffalo Bills are going to have a high-octane offense. They're going to win a lot of games. He has 2 running backs with Singletary and Moss. Stephon Diggs on the outside, Brown, and also Beasley. So I do believe he will also lead quarterbacks in rushing, not Lamar Jackson. It will be Josh Allen who leads all quarterbacks in rushing. My second bold prediction, CeeDee Lamb will lead the Cowboys in receiving. Cooper's going to receive a lot of double teams. People are scared of Gallup up top. CeeDee Lamb is going to work the slot, and he's going to lead them in receiving. That's easy. It's a done deal. And lastly, Tyrod Taylor will lead the Chargers to a playoff berth and a playoff win. It's your boy, Lever KT of Real 1 Productions, signing off. Chargers versus Bengals, a game I am super stoked about this weekend. So many storylines involved with it. I'm going to go ahead and give you Cincinnati's injury report. Geno Atkins is out. Sean Williams is also out. Trey Waynes and Renell Wren are both on IR. What's going on in LA?
So in LA right now, we have offensive line problems. Brian Bulaga has a hamstring. He practicing in limited participation on Thursday and Friday. He's questionable. Trey Turner has a knee. He did not practice on Friday. He's questionable as well. Mike Pouncey is going to be out for the game, and he has a hip. He did not practice all week. Virgil Green, the tight end, had a quad, and he practiced in full capacity all week. He's questionable for the game. Tyrod Taylor as well has a calf, and he's in full capacity, and he's healthy, it looks like, right now. And that's what's Mike Williams. Can't forget about him. We had Mike Williams, a wide receiver. He's dealing with the shoulder. He practiced in limited participation, and he's a game-time decision. So that's the latest going on in LA.
So if I had Mike Williams in my fantasy lineup, should I sit him?
Play him.
Don't play him.
Sit him. Just sit him until we get more information about him. And then, as we'll see as the weeks progress. Anthony Lynn, definitely seems hopeful to have him back out here. Maybe just not this week, though.
Wow. That's tough for the Chargers. And Joe Burrow, we trust, the number 1 pick from LSU. He has a plethora of weapons. I'm excited to see what him and AJ Green do. I'm excited to see what him and Tyler Boyd does. I'm excited to see what him and the rookie T. Higgins does. And if John Ross can never fully put it together, their receiving core is amazing. And then you mentioned that behind him, he can hand the ball off to Joe Mixon. I'm excited to see if all of that comes together. Joe Burrow this week was also named the team captain.
Yes.
That's important. To be a rookie, important. You came in, you did your work, whatever hazing assignments he had, he took care of those, and he won over his teammates. To be from Ohio, to play in Ohio, he has a lot on his shoulders, but they're already trending in the right direction. My predictions for this game, though, I have the Chargers winning 27-24. I think it's going to be one of those games that we look at this week. It may be one of the games of the week that we end up seeing on Tuesday. What are your predictions for the game, Moon?
I agree with the game of the week type of feel because it has the capacity to be that. Let me talk about something real quick, some interesting things for the audience. So we have 5 team captains for the Chargers: Tyrod Taylor, tight end Hunter Henry, Mike Pouncey, who is not playing, Melvin Ingram, defensive end, and also cornerback Casey Hayward were named as the team captains. That's notable. And also, let me give you some interesting news about the series breakdown. So the all-time series record is as follows: it's 21-15. Now for the Chargers. Now Anthony Lynn, all-time at Cincinnati, he's 10-5. Anthony Lynn versus Cincinnati, 1-0, just as a head coach. The last time they played at Paul Brown Stadium, it was September the 20th, 2015, and the Chargers lost 24-19. Now, other notable news is the Chargers all-time at Cincinnati, it's not that good. It's 10-8. So with that, my prediction is I'm going with the Bengals, man.
Wow.
I just feel it. I feel like the Bengals actually have a healthier O-line going into this game than the Chargers do. And my final prediction is I got the Bengals 26, Chargers 19.
Wow, Bengals 26, Chargers 19 is Moon's prediction. Up next, we got the Cardinals versus the 49ers. We'll see what myself and Jalen, the journalist, has to say about that game.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jalen Wilson, and I'm here to give you all my 3 bold predictions for the 2020-2021 NFL season. My first bold prediction is Josh Jacobs is top 3 in rushing yards total this season. My second bold prediction is Mr. Bigsby is top 5 in passing yards with around 4,200 yards passing. My third one is the Buccaneers go 10-6 and underperform what everybody expected them to be this season. This has been Jalen Wilson with Real 1's Productions, and I'm signing out.
Cardinals, 49ers, it will be a showdown out west, a game that I am also really excited about. Got a lot of young talent on both sides. The injury report for the San Francisco 49ers, we got Brandon Ayuk, the rookie that they moved up to get with the 25th pick. He is questionable. Ben Garland is also questionable. Deebo Samuel, their receiver who's in his sophomore year, is out. Jason Verrett is out. Tevin Campbell also had an injury, but he will definitely be playing. What's going on in Arizona?
Arizona? There's not much going on. They really stay healthy, unlike most teams this offseason. They only have one guy listed as out against the 49ers, and that is rookie offensive tackle with Josh Jones from Houston.
I appreciate it, man.
Other than that, they don't really have any injuries.
You said they really don't have any injuries? That's a blessing, man. Without preseason, you kind of had to get a lot more physical in practice. That's why we're seeing like injuries kind of everywhere else. The 49ers, I feel like this is a prove-it year for Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan has been in multiple Super Bowls where he's had leads and they've blown the lead. The first one as an offensive coordinator in Atlanta. The second one last year, they were up 10 in the fourth quarter and couldn't put it together. So this is definitely a prove-it year for Kyle Shanahan. I thought they did a great job in picking Javon Kinlaw. He would do an excellent job in replacing DeForest Buckner, 6'7", 325, long reach. So he'll definitely be an excellent 3-down pass rusher. Brandon Ayuk, I also like that pick. He's a +7-der. He's 6 feet, well, barely 6 feet, maybe 6 feet in cleats. Got that long wingspan though. 6'7" wingspan, which is, I think him and Deebo Samuel are going to do amazing this year whenever they can get both of the field. My predictions for this game though, I do have the Cardinals winning. I think I said 28-24. I got the Cards. Who do you have, Jalen?
I have the Cardinals winning 21-17. But going into this game, I'm kind of feeling good about Kyler Murray, along with the wide receiving core, as they have DeAndre Hopkins, Andy Isabella, Christian Kirk, and Larry Fitzgerald, and that's to me is one of the best receiving cores in the NFL if they all can stay healthy. And even though they traded David Johnson away, they still have a good running back in Kenyon Drake. then their defense consists of Buda Baker, Patrick Peterson, Byron Murphy Jr., Chandler Jones, and one person that I'm hoping to step up this year is Deontay Thompson from Alabama, who's going into the second year.
So what role is he playing? Is who's playing free and who's playing strong? Is Buda playing free or is Deontay Thompson playing? Who's playing which safety position?
If I'm not mistaken, Buda Baker is playing strong this year.
Okay.
And Deontay is playing free. But the only thing that concerns me about the Cardinals is their coaching with Cliff Kingsbury. Because I know the media had a lot of hot takes about him and about his hiring because they thought it was bad because he was coach at Texas Tech, if I'm not mistaken, before getting a job at Arizona. But it's like you said, it's a prove year for Kyle Shanahan. I kind of think it's like that for Cliff Kingsbury because if he does bad, I mean, with the weapons Kyler Murray has and his defense, then I really think that we're gonna be like, oh well, coaches can't come to college. I mean, can't come to the NFL from college and be successful in the NFL.
Absolutely. Great take, Jalen. That is the Cardinals, 49ers. Up next, we got the Ravens and the Browns. We'll see what everyone thinks about that.
What's good, guys? It's LL Cool Brad from Real Ones Productions, and today I'll be taking you guys through the Cleveland Browns versus the Baltimore Ravens injury report. So for the Cleveland Browns injury report, we have Grady Williams, cornerback, and he is out for the game. Mac Williams, linebacker, and he is out for the game. MJ Stewart Jr., questionable, and Chris Hubbard, offensive tackle, and he is out for the game. Now that concludes the Browns injury report. Now on to the Baltimore Ravens injury report. So Tyree Phillips, guard, and he is questionable for the game. Chris Moore, wide receiver, and he is out for the game. Justice Hill, running back, and he is out for the game. And Justin Matabuki, defensive tackle, and he is out for the game. The Baltimore Ravens have a 69.8% chance of winning this game. Now to my man, KT.
Hey, Browns, Ravens, you already know what it is. Divisional rivals, AFC North football at its finest. Last year, these games were decided by one game by 15, the other game by 16. The first one, the Browns winning 40-25. The second one, the Ravens took that one, and that one was 31-15. My predictions for this game: I believe the Ravens will win by 1 point. It'll be like 28-27. But the Ravens have a lot to prove this year, and I'm going to put a lot on Lamar Jackson this year. We've seen what you can do running the rock, but you have to be able to beat teams passing the ball in the postseason. That's the only way you're going to be able to win games. That's the only way you can improve on your MVP season. How you feeling about the Browns in this one?
I'm feeling like they're going to come up short, and I feel like it is going to be a relatively close one, but I still think that Baltimore is going to win by at least 10 points. I would predict that it's going to be around 35-25. I feel like if the Browns could get their running game going a bit more and their wide receiver core going a bit more, that they could potentially win this game and upset them. But that's what I think about the Cleveland Browns.
I think Greedy Williams not playing is definitely going to cause a gap in that secondary, and Lamar Jackson should be able to take shots, especially if they can get Hollywood Brown involved in the passing game. I also think this is a proven year. This is also a proven year for the Browns. Like, Baker Mayfield has to step up. Odell Beckham has to step up. Jarvis Landry has to step up. The running backs, I can't even ask them to step up because they did their thing last year. So, be interested to see what happens. And what was your final score prediction for this game again?
35-25.
35-25, another high-scoring game in this AFC North rival. We will send you guys to rapid-fire questions. I am Lever KT. That's LL Cool Brad. We out. Welcome to R1P's Rapid Fire Questions. This is the segment of our episode where we give the panelists each 5 to 7 seconds to answer a burning question. If I feel like they're going on too long, I'm going to give them a simple next. Certain questions, I'm going to give them a few more seconds than the 5 to 7 seconds to answer a question. But let's get started. Question number 1. Does Jordan Love start any games this season? Brad, go.
I think 2.
Wow, that's a bold prediction. Jalen, does Jordan Love start any games this season?
Yes, he starts 1, and that's week 17 when they sit Aaron Rodgers.
When they sit Aaron Rodgers, so do you think they will win the division?
No, but they will be in a position where they're set enough to where they don't have to fight for a wild card.
Moon Vibes, go.
I said they win the division, and Jordan Love starts week 17, so 1.
Wow, that's an interesting point. Does Dalvin Cook stay injury-free this season? Brad, go.
Absolutely not.
Jalen, go.
No, because running backs take too many hits, and they always get banged up.
Moon Vibes, go.
He's battled injuries throughout his whole career. I don't see anything being different this year, so yes.
Moon Vibes, I have a question for you. Why do you think some of the running backs of the past were, was it luck, were able to play more games than it seems as the running backs of these days, like the Emmitt Smiths of the world, the Walter Paytons of the world? Those were Iron Men. They played damn near all 16 games, every season, unless it was a game that they were sitting out for the playoffs. What do you think the difference is between the modern running back and the running back of old?
I think the modern running back is I'll start with the running back of old. The running back of old seems to be like more durable because of I think it's just the time that they played in. You see the 90s, 80s, early 2000s. It was more of a physical game versus this is it's not the same. So you can see when those running backs do take a lot of hits and they get a lot of carries, they have a more potential to get banged up. And in Dalvin Cook's case, we seen him get hurt at Florida State. There's nothing new, and even his early career with Minnesota. So, I think that's the case. Just the time and the era that they're playing in.
Gotcha. This next question, I want you to all answer in unison. Are the Jaguars tanking? Go.
Yes.
Yes.
That was pretty easy. Can the Colts compete for the division? Brad, go.
Yes.
Jalen.
Yes. With Phillip Rivers as the new QB, yes.
Moon.
I think that they finished second in their division behind Tennessee, and have a record of 10-6. So yes, they can compete.
Can Mitch Trubisky take the Bears to the playoffs? Brad, go.
No, they just don't have enough talent yet.
Jalen, go with 5 added seconds.
Yes, and I'll even raise this to a next level. He will take them to the NFC Championship.
You said the NFC Championship.
Yes. Because if Blake Bortles and Ron Tannehill can make it to a championship game, why can't Mitch Trubisky?
Excellent insight. I got to give you credit there. Moon Vibes, go.
There are 7 playoff spots open for each conference. That's an additional wild card. Anybody can sneak into that spot. All you got to do is have a record over 8-8, and because I think the NFC North will be tougher than usual, I'll definitely see them sneaking into that last wild card spot.
Hey, great perspective. Who leads the Lions in rushing this year? Brad, you are right there in the heart of Michigan. Who leads them in rushing this year?
I think DeAndre Swift. Even though he is injured right now, I feel like he can come back and produce.
Jalen, go.
Even if with this guy, he battles injuries, but Kerryon Johnson is going to do it.
I'm a big fan of Kerryon Johnson. Moon, go.
DeAndre Swift is rookie. I think that Kerryon Johnson is hurt too much. Give me the Iron Man. I'm going to say AP.
Hey, he comes from that cloth we were talking about, the running back of old. How many games does Marcus Mariota start this year? Brad, go.
I think 4.
Interesting. Jalen, go.
Derek Carr plays bad, and he starts 6.
Wow. Moon Vibes, go.
I say he starts 4, and it's not because Derek Carr plays bad. I think it's because Derek Carr gets hurt.
Alrighty, Moon Vibes. Let me ask you an additional question. Which quarterback is more suited for John Gruden's scheme?
Mm. Well, John Gruden's scheme is that that Y banana. he likes that old school offense. If we're going by that, I think Derek Carr definitely is better suited. But I think that you can't get a quality backup. Backups are at a premium in this league, and if you can get one in Marcus Mariota just in case as an insurance policy, I definitely take it. But Carr definitely fits what John Gruden is looking for.
Wow. Before we leave this this segment, Jalen, does Nathan Peterman make the roster this year?
No.
As a Bills fan, that name bothers me. Will Christian McCaffrey lead the league in rushing this year? Brad, go.
No, I don't think so.
You have someone you think that may lead the league in rushing?
I would think maybe this is going to surprise a lot of people, but Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I would think he leads the rookies, but I'm not sure about who leads the NFL total.
Brad, excellent insight, and that's why Brad is the lead recruiting analyst here at R1P. Jalen, will C-Mac lead the league in rushing?
No, he's not even going to be top 3.
Top 3? Who do you have ahead of him?
Sheesh.
Nick Chubb, Josh Jacobs, and Todd Gurley.
Wow. At the end of the year, we're going to come back to the segment, and if Jalen was right, we're going to call him Nostradamus. Moon Vibes. Does C-Mac lead the league in rushing this year?
No, and I think who leads the league in rushing is that number 21 in Dallas.
Wow.
Zeke. Wow, that's an interesting concept. I definitely can't wait, like I said, to come back to this later on in the season and see if any of us are correct. How many games does Tua start this year? Brad, go.
I would say 2.
Two games? Based on injury or just because they just want to bring him in slowly?
Just because they want to give him some time to play to get used to Miami.
Yeah. Gotcha. Great point. Jalen, how many games does Tua play this year?
5 because the bad QB plays, so I think they're going to let him start and show what he has.
Moon, how many games does Tua play this year?
8. And it's a mixture between Fitzmagic not being so magical and him actually possibility getting hurt.
So under Nick Saban tutelage, a lot of his quarterbacks have had difficulties in converting to the NFL game. I think that Jalen Hurts is going to be fine because he was able to go to Oklahoma and play in a different system. And I actually think he'll have a more productive career than Tua will. So how do you feel that Tua will rank as far as the Alabama QBs under Nick Saban tutelage, Moon Vibes?
He's right up there. Right up there. Well, his only competition is Jalen Hurts. I'm not gonna compare him to past quarterbacks that we've had because all those quarterbacks have for the most part been pocket passing, not scrambling type. And Tua is a left-handed quarterback with the arm that can die. So we have to just really put him up here and really put respect on his name. Although he dealt with injuries, it's only a competition between him and Jalen.
Wow. Great point. Can Cam Newton have a resurgence this season and finish as a top 5 fantasy quarterback? Brad, go.
I think yes.
Wow. Jalen, go.
Top 5 in fantasy? Yes. Top 5 in the NFL? No.
And thank you for explaining that because people really don't know the difference between the two. Moon Vibes, go.
This is tough for me because I feel like Cam Newton accelerates or raises the play of everybody around him because he's such an alpha. He's been doing that ever since he's been in high school, and even in college, junior college, even now in the NFL. It's tough. The wide receiver core is injured. They don't really have a lot of running back depth. I see him doing a lot of checkdowns this year, so I don't think that equals a lot of fantasy value. So I say maybe top 10, maybe top 15, but not top 5.
So we hinted on Jalen Hurts a little bit earlier. So my next question is, in what ways will Doug Peterson utilize Jalen Hurts? Brad, go.
I feel like he's going to utilize him in 4th and shorts, 4th and goals.
Wow. Jalen, go.
In like goal line packages.
Moon Vibes, go.
I think they create packages for Jalen Hurts to get playing time, and it's in their best interest to do so and do so early and often.
Jalen, I'm gonna go back to you because I want your insight on this.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz has a history of injuries. If Carson Wentz were to go down for a few weeks, are you comfortable that Jalen Hurts will be able to run a full offense and that Doug Peterson wouldn't have to cater his offense to Jalen Hurts?
I think he will have to cater it, but I think he can run it. He will have to cater to him, but he can run it most definitely.
That's interesting. I think that Jalen Hurts, I followed him last year. I love his story. I think he's the ultimate leader. It doesn't get back. He's a class act, and I don't say that about too many people. So I'm excited to see what Doug Peterson does with him. Does Adam Gase have the hottest coaching seat in the NFL? Brad, go.
Yes, because I feel like if they don't do well, the Jets don't do well this season, he's going to be back in college football.
Jalen, go.
Yes, with all the talk that was going on in the locker room, in the Jets locker room, with Jamal Adams and Le'Veon Bell, yes, he has the hottest seat.
That's a great point. Moon Vibes, go.
Not only does he have the hottest seat, but his team isn't really as good. I know the Jets have a great run defense. Their pass defense is left more to be desired. Their offensive line has gotten better because of the offseason pickups. So they look like they can protect Sam Darnold. Unfortunately, Sam Darnold doesn't have a lot of offensive weapons right now because everybody seems to be hurt. So he's going to have to lean on Le'Veon. Unfortunately, Adam Gase does not like Le'Veon Bell. So we can see him, cut his eye towards him or not give him the carries that he needs.
Excellent insight. Can the Buffalo Bills win 12 games this season? Brad, go.
I feel like they fall short 10-6, 11-5.
Jalen, go.
Yes, with Josh Allen at quarterback, John Brown, Cole Beasley, and Stephon Diggs at wide receiver, and that defense, yes, they can.
Moon Vibes, go.
I want to say yes so badly because I feel like it's the year since Tom Brady left. However, I just don't see them getting over 12. Just because their schedule, they play the NFC West this year, and that alone in itself is brutal.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree with you all more. Can Ryan Tannehill have better success this season than he had last season? Brad, go.
No, because I think he's a mix in a really great offense, and with Derrick Henry in the backfield, they're just going to run a lot.
Wow, great point. Jalen, go.
His stats will look better because he will play more games, but stats can only tell so much of the story. But if you're going to watch him this season, no, he will not perform.
Will he start 16 games this season?
Yes.
Moon Vibes.
I honestly don't know. He completed 70% of his passes last year. I see that declining. He had 22 touchdowns last year. Not even his best of his career. Actually, that was 2014 where he had 27. I think that also he had 6 interceptions last year. I don't think that he's as accurate as he seemed, and I think that he regresses. So no.
I think that he can still be successful. He in college, we all know he was a receiver, so the read option is definitely a valuable option. So when you got success off of a read option, you can also have success with RPOs. But I guess that will remain to be seen. Final question: can the Broncos compete for the division? Brad, go.
I don't think so. I don't think they have enough talent yet.
Jalen, go.
Yes. Compete, yes. Win, no.
Moon Vibes, go.
My gut is telling me no, because Kansas City is going to run away with the division. Can they compete for second place? Yeah, absolutely, with the Chargers. But I just don't see them. And I'm more worried about Drew Lock. That's what I'm worried about. Does he take that next leap, or does he regress in the second year?
Wow, excellent job with Real 1's Productions Rapid Fire Questions. We will now move on to the next segment.